I'll think of something. I'll get him back. That man's gonna pay, you just wait. But I still need the film with Angelina's pictures on it from out of his camera. I could use his darkroom to develop the film and make the prints. If he's not gonna pay me, then that'll do as a partial payment. Now all I have to do is somehow get him out of the store. A guy in a uniform. Seems to be a security guard. Someone who guards over other people's money for money. The pinnacle of our society. I don't want to speak to him. If I felt like some casual conversation, I'd watch a talk show. Mrs. Biber? I no longer work for Fuller.
Good for you.
I don't know what's going on between you and Fuller, but I've got nothing to do with it. Mind if I ask you a few things?
If it's not gonna take too long.
Has the mailman been here?
Yep. Puck was here taking his lunch break, but that's already some while back.
Where could he be now? I really need to speak to him.
I'm guessing he's probably in the health center.
Can you tell me anything about Carrie? She's supposed to have killed herself?
Yeah, Carrie. She was a really sweet girl. Always ready to help, always friendly. She wanted to open a kindergarten here. There's not much in the way of childcare around here. Parents have to take their kids for miles to find a place. She was such a lovely girl. She still had her whole life in front of her.
I saw a photo of her in Fuller's shop window. She was really pretty.
If I'd only known. Poor thing.
How do you mean?
It's not important. Too late anyway.
What can you tell me about Bedford?
I grew up here. I guess I always wanted to move away from here.
But, well, that never happened.
Well, I met my husband when I was 17. And we opened the diner here. It was a wonderful time.
Ah, yes.
I couldn't have known then that he was so... that he... I have to get back to work. You want anything else?
A nurse. And perhaps an administrator as well. They could well be one and the same nowadays. The way things look, it seems that healing the patients is a kind of secondary activity. Hi.
Hello, Mr. Michaels. What can I do for you?
Have you seen the mailman by any chance?
Yes, he was here earlier. He brought your mother some get well cards.
Ah, okay. Thanks. What do you think? You reckon my mom's gonna be okay?
Oh, you never can know. But for sure, there are people who come out of comas after much worse accidents than your mother's.
And folks who die from much less serious accidents.
You mustn't give up hope. Pray for your mother.
Statistically speaking, that has no effect whatsoever. Will save my time. This Dr. Newhouse, what's he like?
Oh, he's very charming. A really nice guy. He isn't from around here. He came to Biddeford a couple of years back. But he's really settled and got on well, and...
Yeah, nice story. I wanted to know if he was a competent doctor.
Oh yes, of course. He used to run a huge hospital in Atlanta. He's apparently rather overqualified to be working in a little place like Biddeford. But I think he enjoys the small town life. Your mother is in good hands.
About all this insurance garbage.
Best to have a look through your mother's bank transfers. If she's transferred the money, then it's up to the bank and the insurance company to slug it out between themselves. You can simply drop it by with the certificate if you like. Then I'll see to it.
Mm-hmm. Thanks. What did that guy want?
He was asking about your mother.
What did he want to know?
He wanted to know if
she made it?
Yes. But I told him we're not allowed to give out patient information. He ought to speak to you.
I don't know the guy, but he's gone out of his way to avoid me twice already. You know who he is?
I'm sorry, no. But he's got an accent. I think he's British. But with something else, too.
Listen, I don't want that guy anywhere near my mother. You understand?
Of course.
Are you from around here?
You could say that. I grew up here.
Then you surely must be able to tell me some exciting stories about the place.
Ah, well, not really all that much happens here. You know, a young woman killed herself a couple of years back. She jumped into the ocean, and they had to call in extra divers to help search for her. They didn't save her, though. They never even found the body. But apart from that, there's never really much happening here.
You mean Carrie? Did you know her?
Yes, we used to go to aerobics together.
Any idea why she killed herself?
We'd all like to know the answer to that one. She was always so happy. We used to have lots of laughs together. But then, she changed. She also stopped coming to the sports events, and I lost touch with her. I had no idea she was having such a hard time with herself.
Thanks for the info. See ya.
Goodbye, Mr. Michaels.
Perhaps there are medical records or bills in the cupboard. Forms, transfers. Making people well again is just an aside. I don't think anything in here is gonna interest me. My mom told me how she feared having to spend the rest of her life in a thing like this, even long after the car crash. Her back was seriously injured, and no one could tell her if she would ever walk again. Miraculously, I was left unhurt by our car crash. My mom was in hospital for months. My father died at the scene of the accident. I was about 3 years old back then. I can't remember the accident. Nor my father. A few glossies and a health magazine. Oh well. I'll take the fashion magazine here. Oh, and the auto magazine. I don't want to just sit here and wait for some news. I can drop by at any time and ask how she's doing. Rosie won't accept the note without the mailman's signature on it. Huh. The bimbo reads fashion magazines. Why is she doing that here? Excuse me, ma'am.
Oh, it's you, the hoodlum from this morning.
Yeah, well, I was in a rush. An important job to do.
No reason to be impolite.
Of course not. Two magazines. Well thumbed through and a few months old. Hardly any text, plenty of pictures. Just the way those sucker celeb mag readers like it. No choice. I can't believe I've got to scrabble around in my mother's private things so the damn insurance company doesn't let her die. I mean, what are they gonna do if I can't find any proof that my mother transferred that money? Throw her out of the door in her bed? Alright, come on, Darren. Packet of cigarettes. Is Mom a secret smoker? Oh, there's just playing cards in it. I'd have been surprised. Pencils. Run-of-the-mill pencils. I'll leave that here. You always need a sharpener for pencils, and I can't see any here. Huh. A little wooden box. I've never seen it before. Ah, there's Mom's transfer book. That's what I was looking for. I'll take both. A small container of photo developer from Fuller's basement. It's full to the brim. A bottle of distilled water. You can use it for, among other things, stopping the development of films and prints. There's still some fixer left in the bottle. You use it to halt the development of photographic film. The little wooden box I found in my mother's bedroom. It's quite hefty, seems to be solid wood. It won't open. There are some kind of symbols on the lid, but I can't even begin to work out what they are. I don't know about all this kind of stuff. Let's see. I reckon that these are my mom's account transactions. This is the rent, and here's 18 bucks, 45 to the phone company. Aha, and here's the transfer to the insurance company. That's from last month, so she has paid. Those guys need to kick up the butt. What's this? A letter? Dear Rebecca, I have received your letter and am pleased that you're well. Of course, I will furthermore send you the full amount. Your suggestion is well intended, and I wouldn't have expected anything else from you. But there's absolutely no question about your receiving any less, even if he has now left home. You have done a wonderful job, and it's now time that you did something for yourself. Enjoy your life in Maine. With love, C. Strange. The full amount. Even if he's out of the house now? What's that all about? Here's my mom receiving a fat payment from... a $1,500 transfer from a bank in England. BCW Bank. Willow Creek branch. Willow Creek? That name's familiar. Mom used to live in England, but was it in this Willow Creek? And who is this C character? And why is he sending her money? Here it is again. And there! She seems to get the same amount every month. Seems to be practically her only source of income. I don't get it. She always told me she got a monthly injury compensation payment from insurance of the guy who caused the crash, which also killed my father. I definitely wasn't supposed to see that. Suppose it didn't really matter to me either. It's just that... It's just not like my mother to keep secrets from me. I'll ask her why she's lied to me as soon as she gets better. My mother's financial stuff. The insurance has been paid. There shouldn't be any problem with it. That's the information the nurse needs. Hi.
Hello, Mr. Michaels. What can I do for you?
I have my mother's bank transfers here. She's already paid for the damn insurance.
I was thinking the same thing myself. You know, the insurance company has made a boo-boo. Can I have them? Don't worry, I'll get on it.
So that will be the end of it then?
Yes, I'll clear it all up with them.
Good. When the Temple of Liberty has been established, will the people know how to decorate it? We're decorating our country of liberty with cameras. There seems to be dozens of cameras in this building. Perhaps they should film the screens, just to make sure everything's being filmed. At least there aren't any cameras in the patient's rooms, or in the restroom. We'll have to wait until the year 2000 for that. Hallways, corridors, the reception area over there, a door, presumably the emergency exit. All of it no further interest. A soda machine chucks out various kinds of sugared water. A bottle of soda. Great. I don't need much more. Huh. The news of my mother's accident seems to have spread quickly. A couple of people have already sent flowers. So many greetings and get well wishes. I think she's very active in the community. She's probably got a lot of new friends here. Lots of different people have sent my mother cards. This one's signed P. Puck. Wait a minute. That's the mailman. The mailman signed it. So now I've got a sample. I think I could forge his signature really well. A card for my mother from Puck, the mailman. He signed the card, too. Okay, good. I've got the original. I guess the signature is kinda half decent. The note's filled out, and it's got the mailman's signature on it. Well, my version, that is. I ought to get a package with it for sure. Hey, Rosie. Hard at work, I see.
What do you want?
I wanted to pick up Fuller's package with the photo paper.
No, please. So how did you manage to scare up the old fart?
Yeah, I bumped into him in the town.
You were lucky. Here, Fuller's photo paper.
Much obliged. Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes?
That's fine. Hey, Rosie. Hard at work, I see.
What do you want?
Is that a girlfriend of yours?
Yeah, one of my best ones.
Does she sit about in this store the whole day?
Excuse me? I wouldn't know what that would have to do with you.
I just mean, has she got a job or not?
She doesn't need one. Actually, her husband has plenty of dough. And even if he didn't, then she could easily earn good money working as a photo model.
As a photo model, huh? That could maybe help me out some.
Oh, really?
Nothing. It's okay. Along with all the tourist stuff in the mail, you're the local travel agent too, aren't you? Have you got anything about a place called Willow Creek in England?
Course we do. Take a look back there on the flyers.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes?
I've noticed you're really into those fashion magazines. Are you a model?
Me? No.
You're joking. You must have at least thought about becoming a photo model.
Actually, I have been approached.
Oh, well, that goes without saying. You see, I work for a magazine from down south. Ladies in Chrome.
I've never heard of it.
It's the high society magazine in the South. The magazine for the top 10,000. I'm working on a piece about life and style in the far north.
Really? How exciting.
Maybe you have some recent photos. I'd love to show our readers what fine taste people up here in the north have. This is your stylish convertible, right?
It is! And I'd be happy to be at your disposal for your story. But I don't have any photos.
That shouldn't be any problem. There's an excellent photographer in town, isn't there?
Fuller? You can't be serious. That savage would never be able to light me properly.
Oh, so you don't know
What don't I know?
who Fuller really is? He's an internationally renowned star photographer from New Zealand. He's been living here incognito for a few years. He's working on his life's work. He's documenting normal folks' lives here in America. Of course, he's got to stay unrecognized to do that.
That's... No, I can't believe that.
I swear, in a few years, when he's finished his work, it'll be the photographic sensation of the decade.
I can't believe it. Show me some of his pictures, then we'll see.
Well, all right then. But don't run away.
No way.
My God, what a lame story. But vanity has always been the biggest weakness for those kind of folks. If I can show her a few reasonable photos, then perhaps she'll lure Fuller out of the shop for me. Look, I've got a few of Fuller's earlier works.
Really? Show me! Which pictures are by him?
Oh, that one there. Oh, and there too. Oh, and here's another one. Exactly. Yeah, that one here.
They're really wonderful.
It was all just for the money. In reality, he's an artist, you see. But the project here in Biddeford is his real passion. Living incognito amongst us common folks, working on his masterpiece. Can you imagine what an effort it must have been for such a cultivated and refined man like Fuller to play a primitive, stinking, sweaty asshole?
That's true art.
You should call him. He could photograph you in your car up on the cliff top.
Now?
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, I've got to hurry, my lady. I've got a deadline to meet in Dallas, you see.
Oh, of course. I'll call from my car phone and arrange a photo shoot.
Oh, excellent. But don't let him realize that you know his true identity. Who knows what that'd do to his artistic spirit.
I understand. Thank you so much.
Oh, no problem. Shall we meet here again this evening?
Agreed.
Unbelievable. Now I wonder, there might be a mention of this Willow Creek place in these travel guides. Really? Willow Creek pops up in the index. Page 42, section Horror, Hauntings, and History. Let's see. There it is. Only a small box. Willow Creek on the trail of the killer. Willow Creek on the trail of a killer. Fans of the macabre will certainly get their money's worth in Willow Creek, for in this sleepy little English town is where you can wander in the footsteps of Samuel Gordon, the Worcestershire Ripper, the scion of one of England's oldest families. The Gordon's castle lies close to the town, but is unfortunately not open for guided tours. Murdered 5 people in 1981. Among these was Victor Valley, who was just 12 years old. The Willow Creek Museum awaits the horror-friendly visitor with a permanent display relating to the murders, as well as guided tours from April through to October. Charming little town. And from this horror resort is where my mom gets her monthly payments. Wonderful. That's a postcard of Biddeford. It's very useful for getting from one part of town to the next. But I first want to see if Fuller has really left the store. I ought to go straight there. And there he goes. Now I ought to have a few hours to get Angelina's film to develop some pictures in the darkroom. There's a notice hanging on the door. Back soon. Locked. But I bet that Fuller hasn't checked the back door. Okay, I can develop Angelina's film here, and then make some prints. Let's see, what do I need to develop the film? The film with Angelina's pictures on it, and developer fluid. There ought to be some fixer around here, and the developing drum is there on the table. That's just the tripod. Of course, Fuller took his camera with him to the photo shoot with that bimbo. I just hope he left the film here. If he did, it might be in the safe in his office. It might be that Fuller put the film of Angelina's pictures in the safe before he drove off to his shoot. The safe is locked. Of course. Even Fuller worked out what a safe is for. A stethoscope from the hospital. It doesn't look particularly old, or used for that matter. Not especially valuable. I reckon these things come in packs of 10 nowadays. Alright, let's see. But I need to get a move on. Fuller's had a clock built into it, so there's a time limit. Hey, that sounds good. Yes, there you go. Aha, a film cartridge. Those will be the photos of Angelina. Well, apart from that, there's just a few papers, a folder, and, whoa, a pistol. I'd better leave everything where it is. As soon as I've developed the pictures and made copies, I'll pay Angelina a visit in the hotel. I could really do with a bit of a distraction. Alright, now I've got everything I need to develop the films. Let's go. There's nothing more that interests me in the safe. The undeveloped film with Angelina's pictures on it. I've got to develop it and then make prints from the nags. Then I can take the pictures to Angelina in the hotel. First of all, light off. The film is in the developing drum. The developer's still missing. Good. Now the developer's oxidizing. It gives off electrons, which are then picked up by the silver ions in the light-sensitive layer of the film. The more light that falls on a location, the stronger the reaction, and so the place then turns darker. In short, the film is now being developed. Okay, I guess the film has to be developed now. There's still some fixer left in the bottle. You use it to halt the development of photographic film. Oh well, that's the end of the fixer. But what was left ought to have stopped the development process. I hope everything's worked. So far, so good. The film's developed. That's the first step. Now I have to make the prints. Let's see. I need photo paper and an enlarger. That's over there. Then I need developer. There's still enough in the bottle. So far, so good. Now I need to make the prints. That's enough. The developer also has to be diluted. So far, the dish has only got developer in it. The developer still has to be diluted. It's much too concentrated for the prints as it is. A bottle of distilled water. You can use it for, among other things, stopping the development of films and prints. Great. Just as it should be. A dish with about ½ an inch of diluted developer. A bath of diluted developer. I have to lay the exposed paper in the bath until the picture becomes visible. The longer I leave the picture in the developer, the darker it'll get. The dish for the water bath. After the picture becomes visible in the developer bath, the development process is stopped in the water bath. That would be the stop bath. The dish is about half full with distilled water. The water stops the picture development process of any photo paper I lay in it. The film has been put in. I could turn the lamp on now, but that's not going to do too much if there isn't any paper below the lens. An A4 size package. Fairly heavy. Either it really is photographic paper, or it's full as dirty mags for the week. Ah, nice. 50 sheets of top quality photo paper. I can unpack the paper here under the red light. The paper has to be laid under the enlarger sheet by sheet, and then only exposed there. The sheet is lying in the frame. The distance of the lens from the paper seems fine for the picture to be projected properly. Then let's have a go. The longer I leave the lamp on, the more contrast the picture gets. Let's try it. Okay, I think that's enough time. The sheet's been exposed. No idea if the exposure time's good or not. I'm only gonna know that once I develop the picture. Ah, here we go. I have to take the sheet out as soon as it has the correct brightness. Too early, it stays too light. Too late, it'll get too dark. The photo's exposed and developed. Now all I have to do is wash off the developer fluid using distilled water. The contrast is good, but the picture's too light. Next time I need to leave the paper lying a bit longer in the developer. The sheet is lying in the frame. The distance of the lens from the paper seems fine for the picture to be projected properly. Okay then, let's try again. I have to measure the exposure time exactly. Too short and there won't be enough contrast. Too long will give me too much. Okay, I think that's enough time. Here we go. I have to take the sheet out as soon as it has the correct brightness. Too early, it stays too light. Too late, it'll get too dark. The contrast is good and the brightness is right too. But the picture itself is garbage. I can't do much about that. Maybe some of the other pictures are better. Well, at least the exposure and development times seem to be right. I'll try it again. The sheet is lying in the frame. Okay then. Okay, I think that's enough time. Here we go. I have to take the sheet out as soon as it has the correct brightness. Too early, it stays too light. Too late, it'll get too dark. Yes, I've really got it now. Brightness and contrast are correct. If Fuller only had any idea about photography, then maybe even the picture would be good too. Maybe the next one. This could well take some time. 36 pictures and not one of them actually any good. How can a guy take a beautiful woman like Angelina and then photograph her so badly? But I can't do much about that. The pics have been snapped and I gotta take them to her at the hotel. At least I get to see her again. And it's also not my fault that the pictures are bad. What the? Mrs. Biba? Can I help you, Mrs. Biba?
Oh. What are you doing here? I thought you quit.
Yes. Yes, I have. I'm just picking up my stuff.
Oh, right. Is Fuller there?
No, not at the moment.
Then, can you give him this? Give it to him personal. As soon as he gets back. I gotta go.
I feel sorry for her. There's something not right going on here. Could it help me get one over on Fuller? Huh. But I can't put Mrs. Biber in danger. She gives the impression she can't take much more. If I could secretly open the envelope, then I could look at what's inside and put the envelope in the mailbox later. That would keep Mrs. Biber out of trouble. But how can I open the envelope and close it again without Fuller noticing? I've already developed Angelina's photos. I'd better get out of here before Fuller catches me. 36 pictures. Not one of them properly showing Angelina off. Like she might have expected, for Christ's sake. But what can I do? Take her pictures in the hotel and then have to explain to her that Fuller's useless. The letter's about half a centimeter thick and quite rigid. The tab is stuck down. I need to open it without anyone being able to tell. The kettle's full. The kettle's a good bit heavier when it's filled with water. Hey, the steam could undo the glue. Let's try. It's steaming. The steam's loosening the glue. Got it. The paper hasn't torn and the glue still sticks. I can reseal the letter. But first, I want to see what's inside. Holy, that's gotta be $1,500. There's some kind of blackmailing going on here. Mrs. Biber hates Fuller, and she didn't want her husband to see that I gave her a letter from him this morning. It would seem he knows nothing about it. But what's it about? Sex? Ugh, surely not with Fuller. Something to do with the diner, or from Biber's past? I'd love to send Fuller off to jail for blackmail. But first I gotta find out what he's blackmailing Mrs. Biber with. But tomorrow's another day. I'll put the letter in Fuller's mailbox and get myself ready for my date with Angelina. That's blackmail money, I'm sure. The only question now is, what's he got on her? And whether or not I can find proof of it. First off, I ought to throw the money into his mailbox. He needs to think everything's still as it should be. And doing that, I'm protecting Mrs. Biba at the same time. The little wooden box I found in my mother's bedroom. It's quite hefty, seems to be solid wood. It won't open. There are some kind of symbols on the lid, but I can't even begin to work out what they are. Hopefully he doesn't take too much pleasure in it. The hotel seems to have few guests, but in this season you'd normally expect a bit more to be going on. Maybe the others have seen the weather report. There's a storm getting up, and who wants to be stuck in a hotel on the Atlantic in the rain? Both cars have Maine plates, so maybe they aren't even guests. Or maybe they're rental cars. Plenty of people say that the New England coastal towns look Scandinavian, but I doubt if they built such big houses over there. I reckon this place was purposely built as a hotel. It's too big for an ordinary house. The owners probably live in some of the rooms. The majority are rented out. The back room seems to be an office. Desks, files. I don't really like to climb into other people's houses. Well, not without a good reason. The mast is a copy of a flagpole you might see on a big ship. You often get stormy weather coming off the Atlantic, along with powerful gusts of wind. If the hotel owner ain't quick, he can go look for his flags in Canada. Nothing to find. Looks very cozy. I bet you get a fantastic view of the whales from the veranda. But you know, that reminds me of my favorite film, Whales of August. That genius Vincent Price. In a really unusual role. It's not exactly like the Florida or Californian beaches. The water here is way too cold to swim in it for long. I'm not climbing down there without a good reason. I should be looking after my mother or beating the crap out of Fuller's fat face. But instead, I'm standing here with a stomach full of butterflies. I don't know what it is about her, but man, I got it bad. All right, let's go.
Come in.
Hello, Angelina. Have I come at a bad time?
No, come in.
I've got the pictures with me. Here.
Oh, great.
To be honest, it's anything other than great. The wrong lighting, pathetic composition. Fuller has really no idea what he's doing.
I thought that might be the case. I'm sure they would have been better if you'd taken them. How would you take my picture?
Well, your face should, well,
Just do it.
Huh?
Don't tell me that you, the would-be star photographer, haven't got a camera with you.
Sure, of course.
Come on, then. I still need a present for my parents' wedding anniversary.
Very nice. The light is perfect.
Have you been living here long?
Oh, I don't live here at all. I study in Boston. My mom just bought a house here a few months ago. What brings you here? Look over that way. Yeah, like that. Are you an actress or something like that?
You got it. I'm a famous English actress on my way to Hollywood. No, but seriously. I study literature and history in England. I'm interested in English immigrants in America. Their aspirations, their dreams, their reality.
Wow, that's interesting.
If you say so, we'll see. I wanted to drift a bit, collect some life stories. I don't yet know exactly how I should organize the work.
My mother's from England, too. She came over here more than 20 years ago.
Really? Do you think I could talk to her?
That isn't possible at the moment. That's a very pretty bracelet.
Oh, thank you. I got it from my grandmother. She was always there for me. Unfortunately, she died last year.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Thanks, but you don't need to be. She was very ill at the end, you know? It was a relief for her. She gave me this bracelet shortly before she died. I'm sure you'll find it silly, but I always have the feeling that she's near me and looks after me. Perhaps we could do a few more special pictures? For your portfolio. I always wanted to have a few photos of myself as a model.
Oh, sure. I don't know, what did you have in mind?
I thought maybe like this. Or like this. Or like this.
That's it. The film is full.
Oh, shame. I was just getting warmed up. What do you say we go for a meal?
Actually, I'm not hungry yet, but...
Tonight. In the diner. I'll pay. In return for the photos, okay?
Yes. Sure. Sounds good.
All right, then. See you tonight. Can you develop the pictures by then?
Yeah, yeah, no problem.
I'm looking forward to it.
Jeez. That was certainly something.
Yes, Miss Angelina Morgan has a room here. Would you like to leave her a message, or would you like to go out?
How many nights has she booked?
Damn. No more pictures on the film.
I'm sorry, sir, but you'll have to ask Miss Morgan herself. I can't.
All right.
Brown comb back hair, A long straight nose, eyes close together.
Which room is she in, then?
I'll inform her that you're here. Mr.
That won't be necessary. I'll come back later.
Thin lips, sallow skin, angular face, pointed chin.
But please, don't tell her I was here. It's supposed to be a surprise.
Hello? What's wrong? Sir?
And he's gone. What does this guy want? Excuse me.
Yes, please.
This guy, the one who was asking about Miss Morgan, had you seen him before?
Sorry, no. He came in and asked me a few questions. Then he disappeared. A strange fellow. Do you know him?
No, but I think he shouldn't be letting near Miss Morgan.
Of course not. I call upstairs, and only when the young lady agrees do I let him up.
And he can't come creeping around here.
Well, that possibility can't be completely excluded. But you can only open the doors from outside with a key.
Huh. Since when has Miss Morgan been staying here?
You seem to be her friend. Ask her yourself. We run a very discreet hotel here.
Would that be the case if I were to leave a 20 on your counter?
Sorry.
Nah, nothing. You know my mother? Rebecca Michaels?
Rebecca? Well, of course! We sit together on the tourist board. You're her son? How is she?
Not good, I'm afraid. She's lying in the hospital. She had a fall.
Oh, my dear boy, that's... I'll let my wife know right away. We'll send her a card.
Well, if you like.
So what are you doing here, then? Shouldn't you be with your mother?
I'm gonna go see her again later.
Well, please, give her our best wishes.
Yes, of course. Does the hotel belong to you?
It sure does. My grandfather built it, and I've been running it for the past 15 years.
Do you live here with your family?
It's like this. The guests value the quiet family atmosphere here. It really is something quite special to stay in a small, family-run hotel. I can't bear those awful tower block hotels in the holiday resorts.
And at some point your children will take over the running of it?
Yes, I hope so. My daughter's studying to be a hotelier in Switzerland. I only hope that our hotel here doesn't end up being too small and provincial for her. My son, well, he's got rather different interests.
What's he doing then?
Now, he's a musician.
Really?
Yes. He even thinks he can make a living out of it.
Some people live very nicely from it. What does he play?
He plays an electric bass in a band. I think it's called punk rock.
And you're worried about that? Plants. I know as much about plants as I do about cars, and that's not very much at all. There's nothing in the pot apart from the plant. Nothing between the leaves. A private sign hangs on the door. The owner and his family live in this building. Behind the door is either their living quarters or an office. There's room for 12 keys on the keyboard, but only a few are hanging on it. There are probably no more than 8 rooms here. There are a few magazines lying around here. recommendations for trips, tourist information. Nothing of interest to me. There are pictures of ships everywhere. Either the hotel owner has a real maritime interest or thinks that his guests want to see that kind of thing. Well, great. I need to develop the pictures before my date, but I can't get into Fuller's darkroom anymore, so I'll have to get by with just domestic items. Mom's bathroom will make a great substitute darkroom. I've still got the remains of the photo paper, and I've got developer. I need a red light, 2 flat dishes, and a little acid to use as a fixer. And something to do the exposing with. A projector, for example. I'll write everything down so I don't forget anything. What a day. I can't think of anything I could talk to Rosie about. I don't want to bother her while she's working.
Well, come on. Come on in. Take a look around, buy something.
Thanks.
Ah, a young man. You a soldier? Bit slow on the uptake. Have you served?
Sir, no sir.
Ah, so you want to put me on, do you? Find something for yourself and then beat it.
There are 3 bottles on the shelf. I guess it's hard liquor.
Bourbon.
I don't want to get drunk. A cupboard full of lots of different things. books, a record player, boxes, measuring instruments.
You want to buy something?
I'll have a look around first. Yep, it's famous. I've seen this picture hundreds of times before. A pair of wire cutters for cutting cable. I'd like to buy these wire cutters.
$2. What? You don't want to negotiate? You got too much dough, right? You got it coming out of your ears. Never worked a hard day in your life, and you got no idea on the value of $1, I bet.
$2 is $2. In your time, it might have been a meal out and a movie for two. For me, it's half a burger.
Be happy that you can just buy a burger like that. There ain't many beef farmers left. All that imported stuff from the third world has screwed up the prices.
And pretty soon you won't be seeing a single lonesome cowboy herding steers across the prairie and singing those old trail songs around the campfire. Oh.
Yeah. Typical youth humor.
Shelves of useless junk.
If you're just gonna bitch, then get lost.
Looks like a slide projector from here.
Correct.
Perhaps Eddie picked it up somewhere in the Second World War. They look like bazookas. Hopefully they're just replicas.
I hope not.
I prefer my Star Wars figures. Is Lucas ever gonna make the fourth part? The junk shop owner. He appears to be blind. Maybe he's just putting it on. That would fit with the cliché.
Tell me, why haven't you served in the military? Over there in Iraq, they could use whoever they can get.
In Iraq, the war finished 2 years ago.
Well, you don't say. Read my lips. President Bush is going to bring that Saddam to justice.
Sure. You know that Bush is no longer the president, right?
Well, he'll still bring him to justice. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah. Sure. About the slide projector over there?
I won't sell.
Could you perhaps lend it to me?
Why should I?
Because you want to help a young man trying to improve himself. And who are you? Is this your shop?
No! I just busted in here and you've surprised me, just as I was about to clear the place out.
Oh, how amusing. How long you been waiting to roll that one out?
Your generation lacks respect for its elders. I fought for you to live here. I spilt my blood for you.
And I'll pay your pension. So we're quits, Mr.
Edward D. Warren. Ed for short. Or Eddie to my friends.
Hello, Eddie. I'm Darren. Nice shop you got here.
In my time, it wasn't customary to speak to older folks using their first name.
But we're living in my time now. Aren't we, Ed?
I think you should find whatever it is you're after, and then scram.
Just like I thought. Play the good citizen, but still chase after every dollar. Like the devil chases souls. An old radio. Looks like a piece of pro equipment. Are you a radio hobbyist?
Radio hobbyist? You mean one of those idiots who thinks it's neato mosquito when they have another idiot on the air who only lives 2 blocks away? I was a wireless operator with the Hells Devils, 8th Infantry Regiment of the 4th U.S. Infantry Division. I was there in North Africa, and in Sicily, then in Normandy on Utah Beach. I was wounded on the Rhine. That was my eyes. And I got a Purple Heart for it all.
And so, are you still a radio guy or not?
I'm keeping the tradition alive. I talk to old buddies real regular. Can reach him anywhere. I'd say I'm kind of an expert. Keep my things in good working order. Always prepared.
Ah, okay. Good to know.
Come on, what then?
How do you get on?
I'm blind. How the hell do you think I get on? You idiot.
Does it hinder you a lot?
Well, sometimes. If I need to look something up. Looky here. I'm supposed to figure out what this coin's worth, and I got no idea. It's a rare piece, but it's pretty worn out.
Can I help you with it?
Oh, sure, kid. If you think I'll fall for that, I give you the coin, you run out the door like a punk. I ain't stupid.
Yeah. How you getting on with the coin?
You got nothing better to do than annoying me?
If I find out the price of the coin for you, will you stop behaving like an ass?
Can't promise.
Show it to me. You can keep it in your hand. A woman's profile, a few stars and numbers. Have you got something like a coin catalog?
Yep, it's on the counter.
Oh, boy. An old gold coin. If that's actually real gold, that is...
Come on, what then?
Do you know Fuller?
That idiot next door? Sure I do. You can never choose your neighbors, can you?
You don't seem to like him.
That guy hasn't done one damn decent thing in his life. Lazy bastard just sits around in his store, has his mommy wipe his ass for him, and lets the place fall apart down around his ears. Heed my words. He represents everything that's wrong with this country.
You got that right. From World War II, everything's just been downhill, yeah? Pity we haven't got any decent wars still going on. They've even ditched the draft.
Go ahead. You just make fun of it all, boy. A good licking or a couple of tours in Vietnam, that wouldn't be such a...
What do you mean, such a?
Nothing. The guy's a pig. There's something not right about him. He's hiding something, I'm telling you.
So, what's life like here in Biddeford?
You're not from around here?
No. I go to college in Boston.
Oh, so you're an intellectual then? Some sort of desk guy, an egghead who just talks clever all day?
No, I'm...
Then you're the artistic type. Some depressive junkie? You're fixing your problems with a self-help group, right?
No, I'm studying physics.
Well, we sure need that stuff. So what brings you here?
I'm visiting my mother over the semester vacation. She's been living here a few months now. Rebecca Michaels?
Oh, well, nice to meet you, Rebecca.
Oh, man. You know my mother by any chance?
Nope. I don't get out much. What's you doing here, fresh sea air and all that?
You could say that, yeah. A quiet place to retire. My mother's in the hospital here.
And?
Do you think she'll be in good hands there?
Well, is she sick? She won't be in bad hands if she's in the hospital.
No, I meant, are the doctors here any good?
Well, how should I know? You think just 'cause I'm old I run off to the doctor and complain every day? I haven't been to see no quack in years. I'm as fit as a fiddle.
Yeah. People were made of better, stronger stuff in the past, right?
Yeah. Get to my age and then we'll talk about it. Stop! Long as you got that coin, you stay right here.
That's a flowing hair scent, wreath reverse, from 1793. $2,400.
Not bad. $2,400. I'll offer him $800. Seller's an idiot. Thanks. I owe you one.
Oh, I'm happy to help old, disabled people. Put one over on the other folks. You're welcome.
Perhaps, you could do me another favor right away. I lost my cane.
You've done what? How can you lose a cane?
Not how you think. I was playing poker and, had a slam dunk hand. But how could I know that that idiot from the hotel had a straight flush?
You bet your cane and lost.
Yeah.
Who's got it now?
The owner of the Wild Coast Hotel.
Alright then. I gotta pass by there anyway, so I'll ask him.
Thanks. You know, maybe you ain't so much of a idiot as I thought.
Excuse me.
Yes, please?
I've heard that you have poker games here every now and again. Could I maybe sit in on a game?
I ask you, please. This is a respectable hotel. We don't condone illegal gambling.
I'd like to get back into playing poker. I'd be interested in a blind man's white cane as a bet.
Yes, nice. We sometimes play a little game or two of poker here, but nothing public, quite private. Never for high stakes.
Wouldn't you say that for a blind man, a white cane would be quite a high stake?
He wanted to bet with it.
You know what? I think I'll inform the police about your game. I mean, that can't be right now, can it? You can't take a cane away from a blind man.
Well, go ahead and call the cops. I've got nothing to hide. I won the cane fair and square. You can ask the other players.
If you say so. So what was that again about the fair and square win in an illegal gambling game in a respected local hotel? What would Rosie think if I told her about it? What would other people think, in fact? Taking the cane from a blind man, What a devious, slimy character you are.
No, please, don't do that. I am sorry. I really didn't want the cane, you know. Eddie just didn't have any more dough with him, and he threw it in as a guarantee.
How much did he stake on it then?
Oh, it's not worth talking about. What's $100 anyway? You seeing him today? I could give you the cane. Give him my best, and tell him he can consider it a gift from a good old friend.
Well, great. I'll take it with me and pass it on to Eddie then.
And give your mother my best when she wakes up.
Yeah.
Come on in. Come on. Oh, it's you.
How do you know that? I thought you were blind.
You stink of perfume, like a whorehouse I once visited in Lille. Smells like teen spirit.
If you say so. Eddie's white cane. I had to get it back to him. It's no use to me. Your blind man's cane.
Well, thanks. You know, you're smarter than you sound. Best put it by the door. Hey, listen, if I can help you out in any way, you just ask.
About the slide projector.
It ain't for sale.
I don't want to buy it. I just need it for a while. I want to borrow it. I did help you with the coin and got your blind man's cane back.
That's true. Okay. Take the projector, but bring it back. Today.
Yeah, I'll bring it back today. And undamaged.
Good. Good.
That's 50 sheets of high-quality photographic paper. I can't open it up here. The sheets are packed in a black opaque foil so that they can't be accidentally exposed. Eddie's slide projector. Once I finish with it, I have to give it back to him in one piece. Yes, it's blue for my red light. this chain of lights is gonna stay ducked. A simple chain of lights. A power cable with lots of bulb sockets. One's missing. A simple chain of lights. I don't want to stop her from doing a job right now. Dr. Newhouse?
Yes?
How is she?
No change. But she's a strong woman.
That's what everyone says. After the accident, she had to bring me up on her own.
Yes, I heard about that. What kind of accident was it?
A car crash. It was in England. We were driving on this tree-lined road. The car got into a skid and we smashed into one of the trees. Dad didn't survive, and Mom's had to wear that support thing ever since. I came away without a scratch.
Do you remember anything about the accident?
What? No. I was only a few years old. No memory of it. I've lived here in the States for as long as I can remember.
It's just that when I examined your mother, I thought her back and neck injuries seemed rather unusual for a collision-type accident. They looked more like injuries from a fall from a considerable height, causing her to have suffered compressed vertebra.
And what do you mean by that?
Nothing. Nothing at all. If your mother said she was in a car accident, then that must have been the case.
Or she's been lying.
Darren, I certainly didn't mean that.
Huh. Thank you, Doctor. What can you tell me about Mrs. Baiba? And do you know her husband?
Oh, well. Now, a person shouldn't speak ill of others, but her husband, he's a very unpleasant fellow. He was a big deal in the football team at high school, and Mrs. Baiba married him young. Yes, I think she imagined her life turning out some other way.
Like how?
Now, she works hard in the diner. She probably does the work of about 3 people, but I don't think it makes a great deal of money. And her husband, well, let's leave it at that. They certainly don't have a lot of money, just a lot of work. And no love.
Uh-huh. Do you know Fuller?
From the photo store? Yes, a little. I've not had much to do with him. He doesn't get involved in the community. He never comes to the spring flea market or to church.
Yeah, right. Who would have thought it?
I know that your mother got you a job at Fuller's. I advised her against it, but she said you were interested in photography?
That's right. Only my job there doesn't have much to do with photography. So, a crazy good-time guy like yourself can surely tell me where all the action is. Here in Biddeford?
Dear me, no. You got me wrong there. I could perhaps give you a few tips on which are the most interesting evening courses at the community center.
No thanks. I'll pass on that one.
I thought you might. Hey, we do put on a disco for young folks every 2 weeks. But I suspect you've rather grown out of all that, too.
I don't think I was ever that age. Discos, bars, parties. I was never into that sort of thing.
Your mother mentioned that. You were rather more of a loner, yes?
I've no idea where she got that from.
Oh, excuse me. I didn't intend to.
So, to sum up then, in Biddeford, you're best off being over 50 or dead. Might just suit me.
What? Being over 50?
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's it for now, I guess.
If you've got any more things you want to ask, just come and find me.
Alright, I've got everything I need to develop the pictures. It's gonna take a bit of time, so let's get going. I've got the pictures. Huh, they've come out quite well, considering the conditions I had to develop them in. All the stuff that I need for developing is in the bathtub. I hope I won't be needing it for a while. I'm just gonna take Eddie's slide projector. I wish I could make some reprints of some of the pictures, but there's no more photo paper left. But I'm gonna keep at least one. I'll go and visit my mother one more time, and then I'll get ready to go out.
And you think that the guy is following me? A student from England? Why?
No idea. I didn't say that he is following you. I only said that he might be. Perhaps it's me he's following.
It's all right, Darren. I didn't mean to upset you. What's wrong with you?
Oh, I don't know. It's just all too much for me at the moment. My mom's in the hospital, there's this thing with England, and then this guy.
Which thing with England?
Yeah, well, my mom, she gets money from England. A village called Willow Creek. Do you know it?
Yes. I even know roughly where it is.
I think it's a place where my mom worked as a cook.
And she still gets money from there? Her plum pudding must be heavenly.
That's the thing. I mean, that's more than 20 years ago. Who's sending her over $1,000 every month? And for what? I found this box next to the bank transfers.
Huh.
I've never seen it before. And that coat of arms with the 3 lions? That's an English emblem, isn't it?
It is.
What exactly are you doing?
I just thought you maybe wanted to see what's inside.
You know how to open it?
There were thousands of these caskets produced in the 19th century. There's a special kind of lock mechanism that's supposed to keep curious people out.
Well, it didn't really work.
What's inside?
A photo.
A man and a woman in front of a wrought iron gate. Is that your mum? And the man, is that your father? Is there anything written on the back? Black Mirror Castle, Willow Creek, England, October 1969. What's wrong?
My mom.
Darren?
Do you think she looks 5 months pregnant?